Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. I have a very special guest today in my video.
I'm not special.
You are special for me. My husband Aubrey is here. Today, finally, we decided to make a video about leaving and moving to Maui or Hawaii in general. So we are gonna do a Q&A video. We're gonna ask several questions in this video and then answer them as well. Hopefully, if you guys are willing to move to Hawaii or Maui, these answers are gonna help you. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. We're gonna ask the first 3 questions before you move.
Yeah, before you move, what you need to know.
Before you move, what you need to know. Okay, so a lot of people ask, how much does it cost moving to Maui? What do you think?
It costs a couple grand. You're gonna need at least 3 to 5. Like, that's what it costs for us. It depends on how much you plan on moving over here and if you're bringing your car. I recommend you bring your car if you can swing it. More on that later. It all depends. Like, if you're coming over with a family, it's gonna cost more.
Exactly, and obviously the plane tickets and you know, the expenses that's gonna come with you know, getting a place. So you always have to consider all those options. The next question is the apartment situation or the place that you leave.
All right, this is something I did not know about and actually had a lot of frustrations with.
He's so serious about it.
I know, yeah, no. This was a source of frustration for me for a solid month. If you do not have a Hawaiian number and you're trying to get an apartment on Hawaii, anywhere in Hawaii, they will want you to show up and look at the apartment.
They just want to make sure that you will be available here first before renting the place.
We got lucky because we found a guy that would agree to have a friend look at the place for us so that it was ready to go when we got here.
Exactly.
Now we just had to show up, sign a thing, get our key. But, you know, our first night we had no electricity and no internet.
Nope. Yep. We had to sleep on the floor. Yep.
So they were still waiting on our stuff.
And where to leave?
Where? Okay. I'm going to go down the whole list of, like, the major areas to live in here. The first one's Kahului. That's the main town. It's where all of the utilities are. It's where Walmart is. It's where Target is. It's where Costco is. Costco is going to be the place you get gas. More on that later. You know, and it's also the closest city to the airport. So it is the most livable city is in Kahului, I think. Next to that is Wailuku, which is lower income, working class, industrial district that we happen to live in. After that, I would say Upcountry would be a major place that a lot of people live. Kihei is a major place that a lot of people live because if you work in a hotel, that's where you're gonna live, you know, a lot of the time because it's just, that's where Hotel Row is down there. Another major place would be Lahaina, but Lahaina has a higher cost of living and it's also a little bit more isolated.
But it's a very touristy place.
Yeah, very touristy. Very touristy. Maui has several microclimates where Kihei and Wailea, if you go past where all the hotels are, you'll see what the South Maui looks like without gardening equipment and all that stuff, like a gardening department. And it's a straight up desert. Wailuku, because we sit next to the Iao Valley, we get the most rain. Like, without question, like it rains all the time. Really high humidity.
Exactly.
And
Upcountry, it's even worse. There's always flooding, you know.
I know, yeah, and whenever there's a hurricane, you pretty much just take it to the face.
Take it to the face. The third question is the job situation. Like, what do you need to do before you get here, you know, to solidify that you do have a job or not? So what do you think about that?
Get a job before you get out here.
Yes, because our situation was my husband had a job already because his former chef moved out here before us and he offered the job for my husband. So he had the job lined up already. That's why we made sure that, you know, we will be safe when we get here, you know, because we had to pay for apartment and all the other kind of expenses, right? Yeah, so a lot of things take time, so you have to be prepared and you have to have enough budget for that. And you have to have a job, you know, as much as possible, of course. But if you do come here and you don't have a job that's lined up, it's obviously gonna take a lot of time, you know, and you're gonna have to wait going through the process of getting a job. All right, guys, and now we're gonna go ahead and talk about the reality of living here and the things that you have to be aware of. Okay, this is gonna be a Q&A after the move, okay? So now let's go ahead and talk about the cost of living, like housing and apartments.
A quart of milk in Dallas is less than $3. There are stores here where a quart of milk is $8. That'll pretty much give you the idea of what groceries cost out here. That's not all stores, but yeah, much higher cost on a lot of stuff. Like frozen pizzas. One of my favorite frozen pizzas was bruschetta. We can't have that here because it's like over $10 including tax. What the hell?
Cost of living here is obviously much higher than the mainland because everything has to be imported to the island from the mainland. So obviously that this is one reason that, you know, a lot of the produce here is more expensive compared to the mainland. And if you do want to buy the local products are much cheaper, but still
pricey.
Still pricey, yeah. And just to mention, we are like 2 people here, and when we do buy our groceries, we buy for 2 people, and we spend about $150 a week for a grocery. That is insane. But at the same time, again, it depends on where you buy your produce, you know. Sometimes we go to the Walmart to buy the essentials like water, you know, like all the cleaning stuffs and the detergent. But for a fresh produce, we usually like to go to the Safeway and Whole Foods because you get the best quality there. And obviously it's much more pricier here, you know, than it is on mainland, because of so many different reasons, you know. And it's kind of understandable why it's pricey, because it's such a small place and it takes a lot to make things happen, you know.
Well, here's the thing. We have one port and we have one airport. And it's a small airport and it's a small port. Most stuff that comes here does not directly come here. It will be flown from the mainland to Oahu and then here. So that's like a 3-point flight already.
And most of our answer, by the way, comes from living on Maui particularly, but it still kind of relates to other islands as well. So let's go ahead and talk about safety now. How much of a difference it is here when it comes to safety than it is on mainland.
Much safer here. You could literally sleep with your doors unlocked.
Exactly. That is something that's so shocking. Like here, we literally do have a gate door in our apartment, and we do have the main door. And sometimes we do just leave the main door open and then just keep the door, the gate door locked, and it's that safe.
Another thing on that note about safety, when it does come to crime, something that I researched was that the most common crime out here is auto theft, particularly in the Wailuku, Kahului area.
Yeah, some people do break into your car.
Yeah, like particularly like stealing bikes, stealing cars, motorcycles, and breaking into them. That's home invasions are damn near non-existent.
What about homeless people? Let's go ahead and talk about homeless people.
Okay, because you want to talk about safety.
This was something that was so striking for me when I came to the United States, because in my country we don't have homeless people. So obviously when we lived back in Texas, there is a lot more homeless people, you know, and they're more aggressive, you know. But here, there is homeless people too, but
they're friendly. Well, not friend, you know what I mean.
Just to kind of wrap up, the safety is much, much better here than the mainland. That's part of the reason that I love living here.
Yeah, it's crazy safe.
Exactly. And then this question actually leads to the next question, which is about the life pace.
Very slow.
Not very slow, but it's much slower than the mainland. People are less aggressive and they take their time, you know, they love taking it easy. Obviously, you do live in paradise, so
Yeah.
there's nothing to rush, nothing to worry.
Even the birds, dude. Even the bird, yeah. Like that. Like I'm still freaked out about how laid back and slow the birds are, because you know, in Texas, you know, they're just like.
Especially like a rooster and the chickens here. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. There's chickens everywhere.
There's chickens everywhere.
Yeah, like now, if we ever move anywhere else, I will be like, there will be an empty space in my soul if I don't see chickens everywhere I go. like doesn't matter where you are or where you're going. Even if you're going to Haleakala, you see wild chickens everywhere because of like the Disney movie. You know how they had that rooster? There's a reason for that.
Exactly, right? Yeah, life pace is much slower here, and a lot of people retire here, and you do see a lot of older generation here because it's one of the best places to retire, to be honest. You know, there's a less crime, there is like a less aggressiveness, and yeah, right?
Yeah, just people call it Maui time.
Maui time, exactly. All right, guys, moving on to the next question, which is the job situation, like finding the job. Yeah, the job opportunity is obviously less here compared to the mainland. You know, we literally just opened Ulta here. If you are in cosmetics, oh my goodness, we have just opened Ulta. And before that, it was only Macy's or Sephora. That's it, you know.
Yep.
And
not just that, but everybody knows everybody. Where you know, if you worked at Sephora, you've worked with people that have worked at Macy's, and like the same thing.
Exactly, yes. You know, if they want to change the job, obviously you may run into the same coworker that you had in your previous job. So pay here is about $1 or $2 higher than the mainland, but comparing that the living expense here is much higher than the mainland, it's still kind of hard living on your own unless you make good amount.
Oh no, they have 2-day shipping, but they charge you for it.
What do you mean?
Yeah, honey, have you looked
Yeah,
on
but you do pay for it, you know, so Anyway, when it comes to purchasing stuffs and the shipping and the time, like you're gonna have to wait because obviously Hawaii takes longer when it comes to the shippings, right?
Maui time.
Maui time. All right, let's go ahead and talk about traveling. And actually, something that I have to mention about the traveling, a lot of people travel here, you know, they love traveling. There is such a thing that's called the island fever. If you are here for a long time, you're gonna get an island fever, you know, you just wanna get out of here and explore something different, right?
Yep.
And there are some people here that just never leave.
Like,
Yeah.
I have coworkers that have not left this island in over 20 years.
Yeah, some people do. If you're born and raised here, I don't know, I think it's just a difference of people, I guess.
I know, some people aren't travelers. The majority of my coworkers take like a weekend trip to Oahu or a weekend trip to Big Island or Kauai or Molokai, you know?
Even there is so much to explore here on an island, you still kind of crave a change, you know, and you just want to explore something different. And you kind of miss the mainland, to be honest, sometimes.
Maui is a good mix because it has a good balance of nature and city. But if you want more city, it is pennies to hop on a plane and 30 minutes to go to Oahu. And then boom, you're in a big city. Or if you want even more nature, you could hop on a plane and go to Big Island, and that's 30 minutes.
All right, so moving on to the bugs. Oh my goodness, this is something that we wanted to talk about because, oh my goodness, it is a thing here. It
Yeah.
really is.
Because there is no cold winter to wipe them out, they just live happy and free, long lives forever. And I've never seen cockroaches this big in my life, and they're just everywhere.
They're this big. I'm not kidding, this big. I will be literally scared to touch them because how big they are. What about the spiders?
Oh yeah,
my
cane
God.
spiders. Haha. Yeah, they're not venomous or anything, but they're as big as your hand.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember actually when I was about to head into the shower, we found one like big one on top of my shampoo, and I was like,
you screamed at the top of your lungs.
I was
You're like, oh my god, oh my god, get the spider.
And I was just like, okay, I'll go get the spider.
What the hell is that?
it was so big. It was about this big. Can you guys imagine that? This big.
It covered the whole soap bottle. It
Yep.
was that big. And it crawled out of the pipes. So
Yep. And apparently those kind of spiders are gonna jump onto you unless you
yeah, like one of my local friends I was just like,
Is this thing venomous? And she was just like, no, it's not venomous, just squish it, but it will jump on you. And I'm like, nope.
Nope.
and also centipedes.
Centipedes.
You have to be careful about centipedes. I had a coworker put on a gardening glove and didn't check the inside, and it bit his hand a couple times.
oh,
And he had to go to the hospital for it.
wow. Yeah, the centipedes are bad, and I actually found like the baby one right in front of my big window as I was practicing yoga. And if you see them, you better kill them,
Yep.
or they're gonna kill you.
No, they won't kill you, though.
But they will kill you with pain.
Figure of speech.
Moving on to the nature question. So what about the nature? What do you talk about the beaches, mountains?
You are 15 minutes or 20 minutes away from something beautiful at all times living out here. Like we're 15 minutes from Meow Valley, 30 minutes away from our favorite beach.
Exactly. Nature, by the way, here is priceless. You know, you cannot find this kind of nature. You know, it's very unique on its own. And Maui especially is beautiful. It has the balance of everything, you know. We have beautiful mountains, and you guys know I do live right in front of the Io Valley. So when I look at the from the window, I see this beautiful view, which is, oh my goodness. And when I turn to the right side, I look at the ocean, you know. It's literally living a dream. So, all right, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. And if you have really enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe as well. And I hope you guys appreciate my husband being here and then helping me with the Q&A of living on Maui or moving to Maui. And yes, hopefully you found the video useful. And Alright guys, have a great day and I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye guys. Mahalo.